Hello everyone, this is Meena teacher from Maths Misfit. A warm welcome to all of you. Hope you all are doing well. Today's topic is an interesting one, a topic which you have done in your school days, simple interest. Though the word seems simple, it's not that simple. There are some tricky problems and a lot to think about. So today we are just going to do the basic concepts, the formulae and simple problems. Now, some of the problems you can do without the formulae. I'll be showing you these methods. They are the shortcut methods and we will not be doing very high level problems in this part. All this is going to be useful for your competitive exams. So let's start. The first thing which you have done in school, and all of you know this by heart, simple interest is PTR upon 100 or PNR upon 100. Now what do these terms mean? I'm going to explain to you each and every term, assuming that you have forgotten or you don't remember whatever you have done in school. Principal is the amount that you have lent or you have borrowed. So let's say a friend of yours comes to you and tells you, I need some money. घर में बहुत problem है. 20,000 रुपया चाहिए. Now 20,000 is a big amount. So you're going to think, should I give? Should I not give? But then he's your friend. So you decide, okay, I will give it to him. Now the amount that you give to him is what we call as the principal. Okay, so your first term, principal is the amount that you have given, that is you have lent or that you have borrowed. Now you come to the other terms. What is R? R is nothing but the rate of interest. Now your friend needs this 20,000. You tell him that I am going to give you this 20,000. And you think, if you're going to give him this 20,000, I should take something extra. Now the extra amount that you take is called as the simple interest. So you have given him this amount of 20,000. So let's say now you have given him 20,000 rupees. So we assume that this 20,000 is your principal. So I'm writing it here. Principal is 20,000. Now the extra amount that he gives you is going to be called as the simple interest. So there are two other terms that you need to know. And those two terms are the rate of interest and the time period. Now what is the time period? Now you give this 20,000 to your friend, but then you ask him, भैया कब तक वापस लौटाओगे? And he'll tell you, maybe 2 years. So that 2 years is nothing but the time period, which we can denote either by N or by T. But then your friend is going to tell you, ask you rather, how much extra should I pay you? Then you decide. Now the extra amount can either be some fixed amount of say 1,000 rupees or 2,000 rupees or whatever. But then supposing he doesn't give you this money after 2 years, 1,000 or 2,000, that extra amount may not be sufficient. So then you decide a certain percentage, okay, that is called as the rate. So you decide and you tell him, that I will give you at 5% PA. Now in school days you have done. PA is nothing but per annum or per year. That means the interest is going to be charged at 5% per year. Okay. So now if we take this amount, so how much is a simple interest which you have done in school? Principal is 20,000, rate of interest is 5, and the time period is 2. So the extra amount that he gives you is 2,000 rupees. So at the end of 2 years, what is he going to pay you? The principal amount plus the interest, and that is called as the amount, which we denote by the symbol A. So amount is nothing but the principal plus SI. So in this case, it is going to be 22,000. That is 20,000 plus the interest. All right. Now we come to something very interesting. How is percentages related to simple interest? Okay. So let's take the same example what we took earlier. Now the rate. So I'll just write down again what all we had got. Our principal was 20,000. The rate was 5%. And the time period was 2 years. Okay. Now, how is percentages related to simple interest? So, we are given the rate as a percentage. So, take this percentage. Now, you all know what is percentages. 5% is 5 upon 100. Now, this 5 upon 100 will be on what amount? The 20,000. Okay. So, this is going to be your interest for 1 year. Now, why 1 year? Is because the rate is always given per year. So in this case, what I'm going to get is 1,000 rupees. So what we have done is basically nothing but just converted that rate percent into a value. Now this interest, what you get is only for 1 year. And we are given the time period of 2 years. So for 2 years, the interest will be 2,000, and that is what we got earlier. All right. So percentages can also be related to simple interest. Now you'll wonder why percentages again? Now not only percentages, we have even ratio. तो you'll say, oh my God, again, फिर से ratio आ गया, फिर से percentages आ गया. Yes, percentages and ratio are a basic part of maths. You cannot avoid them anywhere. So you need to know those concepts thoroughly. So now have a look at how ratio is going to be connected, or how ratio will be related to simple interest. We had got 5%. So I'm going to put this as 5% is nothing but 5 upon 100, which I can write it as, you all know, 1 upon 20. Now remember this, very, very important thing what I'm writing. The numerator here becomes the interest. The denominator here becomes the principal. Okay. Now, mind you, this is all only for 1 year. Why 1 year? Because the rate is always given as a percentage per year. Okay, so we'll go ahead with the same problem. Now it's very, very easy. I'll just put two columns here. Principal, interest. My principal is 20 and interest is 1. So if the principal is 20,000, the same example, how much is my interest? Which all of you can calculate very easily. And that is 1,000. Now mind you again, this 1,000 is only for 1 year. So for 2 years, the simple interest would be 2,000. So now you have three methods how you can solve your problems. One, by using the formula. Two, by using percentages. And three, by ratios. Depends on you and depends on the problem. Whatever you are comfortable with, do it that way. All right. So after the explanation and how ratios and percentages can be used to solve the problems, let's go ahead. Now the first one, very simple, up to you. You have got the principal as 66,000. The rate is 10% per annum. And the time period is 2.5 years, which I can write as 5 upon 2 years. So let's see what we can do. Some of you would like to do it by the formula. So principal into rate into the time period, the whole thing divided by 100. And let's see. So this would be 3300 into 5, which is 16,500. Now I have done this using the formula. But supposing somebody would like to do it by using the, say, ratio method or the percentage method. So let's see how we can use the percentage method to do it. All right. The percentage method is 10% given. So this would be 10% of 66,000. Now this, mind you, is for 1 year. So for 5 upon 2 years, the total simple interest would be 5 upon 2 into 6,600. And you'll see that you get the same amount, that is 16,500. Okay, so I've shown you two methods. You could have done it even by the ratio method. All right. Here I've taken the simple interest formula method and the percentage method. So a correct option is the C one. The simple interest on rupees 54,000 at 11.19% per annum for 3 years, 2 months is, now we have to find the answer. So I have got the principal as 54,000. The rate is 11, 1 upon 9%. And the time period. Now this time period is given as 3 years. The months I will need to convert. So this will be 3 years and 1/6. This comes because 12 months in a year. Okay. So here I am going to take the ratio method. So my rate is given as 11, 1/9%. Now we have done percentages earlier. I have explained percentages even when I have done the topic of profit and loss. So this becomes, what I have done is I have converted the percentage to a ratio, and this comes out to be 1/9. So now you'll see what happens here. As I told you earlier, when I explained in the beginning, what happens when we have the ratio? Numerator becomes the interest and the denominator becomes the principal. So principal and the interest. Principal is 9, interest is 1. Where did I get this from? Here. This becomes the interest and this becomes the principal. Now the principal is given to you here as 54,000. So I can get the interest. Now this interest is going to be for 1 year. So 6,000 is the interest for 1 year. Now what we need to do is we need to find for 3 1/6 years. So the total simple interest would be whatever we have got here, 1 year, multiplied by this. I can convert and make it 19/6. So final answer is 19,000, which is nothing but the B option. Okay. Now in the first two sums itself, we have used all the three methods. In the previous sum, we used the formula and we used the percentage. Here, I have used the ratio method. Whatever you are comfortable with, do that. The simple interest on a certain sum at 12% per annum for 6 years, 8 months is 720. Find the sum. Now again, this is a simple one. So we'll see if we can do it by the formula. We don't know the principal. The rate is given as 12% per annum. The time period is again 6 years, which I'm going to convert. So this will become 20/3 years. And we are given the simple interest as 720. So directly we can find the principal. Principal from our first formula is nothing but simple interest into 100 upon rate into time period. So let's see what this works out to be. 720 so this will go here. The answer that I will get here is 900 rupees. Here in this sum, the time period, 6 years, 8 months, we have converted to years. And simple interest is given. So we have found the principal. Now your option, correct option is the A1. So our next sum is here. If you look at the sum, we are given two parts to the sum. In the first part, we have the principal as 400, the amount as 448, and the time period as 2 years. Okay, so what are we going to do is we are going to find the rate here. Why do we need to find the rate? Because this same rate is going to be applicable in the second part. So let's do it by the formula. Now I don't know the simple interest, but simple interest from here would be 448 minus 400. That is the amount minus the principal. Substituting all these values, what we get here is the rate of interest to be 6% per annum. Now come to the second part. Now in the second part, what you are given is the principal as 550, amount as 682. So let's get the simple interest first. So once we know the simple interest, we know the rate also, because the rate is going to be what we got here. So we need to find the time period. Now the time period will be simple interest into 100 upon P into R. So simple interest is 132. Rate is 6. So 11 5s are 11 2. And we get the answer as 4 years. So which is our correct option here? Option number D. So basically this sum was a little different, where from the first part we got the rate and we used this rate in the second part of the sum. Okay, Anil lends a certain amount to his friend for 2 years at the rate of 15% per annum. The friend returns back 1,17,000. Find the amount lent by Anil. So let's see what we can do here. In this case, I'm taking a different method. Let principal be rupees 100. Okay. Now, how much is the simple interest? Now, when it is 100, if it is 15%, so 15% would be 15 rupees, and for 2 years, it would be 30. So, how much is the amount now? 130. So, if the amount is 130, the principal is 100. In my sum, I am given the amount. So let's put that value and see what we get here. So this would be 1,17,000 into 100 upon 130. This goes 9 times. Answer is 90,000. And the correct option is the A one. Now, in this sum, I have taken the principal as 100, but you can even do it by the percentage method, even by the ratio method. The rate of interest is 3.5% per annum. For a period of 6 years, a certain sum amounts to rupees 48,400. Find the simple interest. Now I'm going to try a different method. So the rate is 3.5%. Now this is for 1 year. So for 6 years, how much would it be? 3.5, which I can write it as 7 upon 2 into 6. So that is 21. Now this is 21%. Now this is for the entire period of 6 years. So what I've got here, 21%. So like the previous sum, if the principal was 100, then simple interest is 21. So the amount would become 121. So if the amount is 121, what I need to find is the simple interest. The simple interest is 21. Putting the value here, how much is this? This goes directly 4 times. Answer is 8,400. See what we have done here. I have taken the rate as 3.5%, but now this rate is only for 1 year and we are given a time period of 6 years. So directly from there, I'll get my answer as 21%. Taking the principal as 100. Now you could have done this even by the percentage method. In either case, whichever method you do, your answer is 8,400. Correct option is the A option. What I have taken today is the very basic sums and using the different methods of percentage, ratio, the formulae. In my next video, I will be taking the higher level problems, which are going to be more tricky and more complicated. All right. Do like, subscribe, and share this video with all your friends so as to enable them to go through this, use these concepts for their competitive exams. All right. Bye. Take care.